Really, really amazing, creative way to approach and tackle a problem. And their students now are going to take that with them for the rest of their lives. And up next, we have Colleen Labbe, who's going to share with you all about social emotional learning.
I was so excited to begin teaching kindergarten. I love teaching students how to read, write stories, and to get along with one another. What I was not prepared for, however, were the number of students who faced behavioral challenges. Take James. James was an adorable, hysterically funny 5-year-old who loved telling stories about superheroes and playing with blocks and Legos, but he would also knock books off of their shelves, throw chairs, kick, bite, scream, and the worst, run away, right out of my classroom door. In creating a safe and supportive environment for all of my young learners, I had many routines and structures already in place. But when it came to James, ultimately, I would end up having to call for help. He would either run away or his behavior would escalate to a point where I would have to press a button and an administrator would come to remove him from my classroom. This, of course, was not a solution. It contributed to lost instructional time, and more importantly, James was learning how to let those strong emotions get the best of him rather than learn how to deal with those emotions. But then I read the Purple Book. Although the title of the book is called Helping Traumatized Children Learn, it has fondly come to be known as simply the Purple Book. As part of our professional development, the kindergarten team worked with the Dean of Students to address how to support the needs of our children who are facing the greatest challenges, including homelessness, loss of a parent, and the effects of living in poverty. We began reading the book as part of our PD, and I learned about how trauma can affect learning and behavior. One thing in particular stood out for me. Simple accommodations, such as creating a safe space or peace corner in the classroom, can help children regulate their emotions. So I created the Think Space. It's a place in my classroom where students can go when they're angry or upset, or if they just need to take a break. This is how it started. It started with a desk and some writing materials, and I would ask students to draw how they were feeling. But then I noticed some of my students could not identify how they were feeling. So along with some lessons, I added a feelings poster and more pictures to remind students of things that we were practicing together in our classrooms, like taking deep breaths to calm down. I was just doing that 5 minutes ago. I added materials that we were using in the classroom to practice positive self-talk. Some of us don't need help in that area. She's literally kissing her face. And students began to go there, and they started to make connections. The school social worker made us some glitter bottles to help us with calming down. We added Play-Doh, stress balls, books, paper to tear, until we had a pretty cool place to go. And soon it wasn't just me suggesting kids visit the Think Space. I remember when one student, while seeing another student have a tantrum, say, "Maybe you just need to go take a break." And of course, students started making suggestions. One student said they needed something to hug, so we got Rocco the raccoon. They named him. The most amazing thing to see was that the Think Space had become part of our classroom, just like the guided reading area and our morning meeting spot. The children also knew that this was not a place for punishment. They were learning how to manage their feelings and their behaviors and how to process their emotions. They were also learning that these skills were important and expected, just like learning to read. Take a look at the difference the ThinkSpace has made in my classroom. Last year, before I introduced the ThinkSpace, I spent 2 weeks tracking the number of outbursts that these 3 students had. Then I spent several weeks teaching strategies to the whole class, along with learning how to use the ThinkSpace. And after these 3 students started using the ThinkSpace, I spent another 2 weeks tracking the number of outbursts each of these students had. As you can see, the number of outbursts decreased by an average of 40%. It works. It really works. But I think it's best if you hear it from my students.
ThinkSpace is a place where you can calm down.
Where is it?
It's all the way next to table 4. ThinkSpace is about when you're sad and you're angry and you can't calm down. You have to go to the ThinkSpace so you can calm down and relax. And then when you're ready, you can come back to the rugby. You can draw, or you can squish the squishy ball, or you can use the glitter tube.
Will you show me the glitter tube? That is really cool. Does that help you calm down sometimes?
Uh-huh.
And then what happens after you feel better, after you spend a little time in the ThinkSpace?
When you're feeling better, and then you can come to the rug to join your friend. I squeeze your ball, and then I count. 10, 3. I like squishing the ball. I like to draw feelings. And it has Rocco, so you can hug him and you can kiss him in the nose because he's so soft and because you like him and you love him.
Squeeze the ball, and then when you feel better, you can go right back to work.
And how does it make you feel?
Very happy.
I know, I'm so in love with them. The ThinkSpace is just one way that we can address what children need to feel safe, connected to school, and to learn how to self-regulate. Every classroom in my school has a ThinkSpace. And many, many teachers use similar strategies. And there's a growing consensus around the importance of social emotional learning and trauma-sensitive practices. But what's different about the ThinkSpace is where it is, in the classroom. When we make space for social emotional learning in our classrooms, we signal that social emotional learning matters, that these skills are just as important as learning how to read, write, and become a mathematician. And research tells us that teaching these skills early on fosters resilience and can help build the foundation for a healthy and happy life. Thank you.
Keep clapping for Colleen. I'm going to put it to the test right now. Everyone breathe in a rose and blow out a bubble. All the way down to Boylston Street. Breathe in a rose from the common and blow out a bubble. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a whole lot better. Hashtag, I'm going to go create a ThinkSpace to help keep me in the zone. Next up, we're going to get a nice credo on what we believe in. Everyone's going to be rejuvenated by their passionate purpose by our next set of speakers. Welcome to the stage, Alice Larimore from the Lilia G. Frederick Private School. Oh, sorry. Breathe in a rose, blow out a bubble. Going back to